Hello, Sudhanshu. Hi.
Yeah, hi man.
Hi. How are you doing today?
Uh, Doing nice, man. Just like
That's
normal days.
okay. That's great. So, what exactly you do? Do you do anything like do you have any work or are you working somewhere or just fresher?
I'm just a fresher, man. So preparing myself for gaining a job to grow
Okay.
myself.
Okay. So, when did you complete your CCNA?
In just past 2 3 months before, uh, I completed my CCNA course.
Okay. All right. So, tell me something about yourself, your education background, your hobbies.
Yeah, ma'am. Myself, Sudhanshu Soni. I completed my BSc from Jivaji University in 2019. Then I start taking CCNA trainings in just like online tutorial classes. So
Mm-hmm.
just because there is a pandemic situation, so I have nothing to do. So just I'm taking those classes. Then after that, uh, I went to Delhi and took online classes uh, in from network bulls to complete my CCNA training, and from after that I just practicing on GNS to just polish my skills on CCNA. So just I have a knowledge of networking.
Okay. That's great. And what is your hobbies? Any hobbies do you have?
Yeah, just like I'm just a fitness freak, so just I like to practice martial art, listening music. Also, I have a photography. I took many photos in a day, just like small insects and many more things. Like
Mm-hmm.
what interesting, just like that.
All
So
right. All right. That's good to know. And where do you stay? Do you stay in Delhi or?
currently, I'm in my hometown in just in MP. Maybe you don't heard about that place in just in Chanderi. Maybe you just heard
Okay.
about it.
Yeah.
So
Not much sure about the place. All right.
yeah,
Not a problem.
yeah.
So tell me something about OSI model and how it works. How many layers are there?
Okay. So OSI stands for Open System Interconnection Reference Model. It's just a logical reference model. It defines how the data transfer between two components or just two different hosts. So it it comprises 7 layers, which is physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. So between in using these layers, just data transfers from one host to another host, or just one device to another device. So in this just physical layer, it provides you a physical topology of a network. Also it provides you the ports to send your data. And in the data link layer, it provides you hardware address. It's called MAC address. Also it creates frames to send data. The third layer is a network layer. It provides you a logical address, which is usually called IP address. So with the help of IP address, you can send data to the desired destination or desired host. And then comes the transport layer. In that, this is the main layer of the OSI model, just because it create, terminates, and tier connection between two hosts. It provides you both reliable and unreliable connection using TCP and UDP. Also use protocol data units, it's like uh, segments. So it send data in segments. Then comes that session layer. So with the help of transport layer, this layer terminates and close session between two different hosts. And then just come the uh, presentation layer. So this layer provides the required data format in which you want the data sent or received by the host or sender. Or then the last layer is the application layer. So this layer provides you a application or services to just send data, just like with the help of services like HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, Telnet, and many more things. So just OSI works between two different hosts to sending data, or just to touch a server, just like that.
Okay. And can you tell me on what layer does the SMTP FTP telnet works?
What, man?
In which layer does the SMTP, FTP, and telnet works?
In application layer, man.
Okay. And tell me, what is the difference between TCP and UDP?
Okay, so TCP is a connection oriented protocol. TCP is basically, TCP stands for transmission control protocol, and UDP stands for uh, user datagram protocol. So TCP is a connection oriented protocol, and UDP is connection less protocol. TCP TCP maintains three-way handshake before sending actual data. UDP does not have any uh, handshake or many things like that. So TCP is more reliable to send data, just because it gives you an acknowledgement after sending any packets or data. UDP is not give you any acknowledgement, so it's just not that reliable. TCP header size is just 20 bytes in size, or UDP header is 8 bytes in size. TCP uses port number 6, or UDP uses port number 17. So TCP services like FTP, SMTP, and UDP services like DNS, DSCP. So that's the difference.
Okay, and can you tell me what are the headers or what are the things that are included in UDP headers?
In UDP headers,
Yeah.
uh, both, just like an IP header.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so in
ma'am.
UDP, yeah, like an IP header. So, but in UDP, what are the things that are included?
Uh, in simple, just IP header, the source destination, so source IP, destination IP, source MAC address, and destination MAC address. These are the fields, main fields in just in IP header.
Okay, so yeah, that is correct. But then in UDP header, you have source port, destination port, then you have headers length and checksum. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
and do you know what are the functions of the TCP or the functionality of the TCP?
Uh, in functionality of TCP,
Mm-hmm.
just like ma'am, in which field, ma'am? Just like uh,
Mm-hmm. Normal in CCNA point of view.
yeah, ma'am. TCP gives you an reliable connection, so many vendors use TCP protocol to send data or just to reach server. Just like a simple example, just like we use SSH more than that Telnet, just because it uses encryption of data between two hosts. So TCP is more reliable to send data or anything.
Okay, and can you tell me something about DHCP?
Yeah, ma'am. DSCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It is a protocol which is automatically assigned an IP address to a host with the help of DSCP server. So a major process in this protocol use like which called Dora process. In this process, four packets sends between client and DHCP server to assign an automatic IP to a client or just a host. So in just first packet is the just discover packet. It is sent by the client or just broadcast by the client in entire network to find an DHCP server. So when it is a broadcast packet. So when it reaches the DHCP server, the server responds back with an offer packet in which that in in that packet there are the information about the DHCP server and and many other informations like to reach the client. So it's just an offer packet after. So there are the two conditions just like that. If there are two DHCP server, the client accepts the first DHCP offer packet and go with that. Then the third packet is the request packet. In this packet, the client broadcast and Gracia Sharp, in which that he wants to find that if someone with the same TCP configuration or IP had in the network, if there is no reply with another client, so at the end the packet reach to the DHCP server, then this is the acknowledgement by the client side, just to that I accept that your IP address. Then at the end, the acknowledgement packet is sent by the DHCP server to the client with the least time or period and an IP address. So at the end of this packet, client has the automatic IP assigned by the DHCP server.
All right. So let's say if I have two DHCP server in my network and I'm a new PC connected to the network, I am requesting for the IP address and both the DHCP server receives, you know, the message and shares the IP address. Which one do you think that the client will go and accept the IP address from?
Uh, the first packet which he takes, ma'am, just like they the first packet which he received, ma'am, by the DHCP server, he go with that packet. Or
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. And tell me something about ARP. You mentioned about the ARP. What do you understand by ARP and how many types of ARP are there?
okay, so ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It's just uh, so an ARP does work like just to find and layer to it's just a broadcast packet to find a layer to MAC address to a layer 3 device, or just an I for a layer 3 device. So it has four fields in an R packet, which is source IP and destination IP, and the source MAC and the destination MAC. So destination MAC, which is just all FFF, just because he doesn't know about the uh, client, or just host MAC address. So he just create an R packet to find the MAC address of a host to connect with them. So there are too many types of ARP. The first one is proxy ARP, gracious ARP, and uh, just like I, ma'am, I only remember two, just proxy and gracious ARP, but there may
Okay.
be many more in there.
Yeah, then there is reverse ARP, inverse ARP.
Reverse, inverse ARP. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's right. So what do you understand by proxy ARP?
Yeah, so proxy ARP is just like usually a host, usually a router replies for the ARP packet which is intended for the another machine. So the router takes responsibility to route the package to the actual destination or real destination by faking its identity with its own MAC address or own IP address.
All right, that's correct. Now, let's see. Which is your favorite routing protocol?
Uh, I'm many my just because I only learn about OSPF,
Mm-hmm.
cause EIGRP and RIP is just like not used in these days, or EIGRP is not teach by my trainer, so just I use OSPF only, man.
Okay, so tell me something about OSPF, how it works.
Yeah, ma'am. So OSPF stands for Open Shortest Path. First, it gives you a path to a shortest path and a reliable path to reach the destination, or just reach the one host to another host. So it uses two multicast addresses. The one is 224.0.0.5, which is used to uh, send data or information between OSPF routers, and the another one is 224.0.0.6, which is used to send information to the DR and PDR routers. So OSPF gives you a path, shortest path to reach the destination.
Okay, and how is the router ID selected in OSPF?
uh, Ma'am, the router ID, just like we first we see that the which one router has the highest priority. If it's matched, then we jump on the highest loopback interface IP. So with the help of highest loopback interface IP, the router ID is elected in the multi-access network.
All right. So if you configure a manual router ID, which one will take the preference?
If I configure a router ID, I just use a highest loopback IP just because it never goes shut down. So you don't uh, you don't need to uh, just like ma'am. I just go with the highest loopback IP just because it never goes shut down. Or or you can change the priority of a router in just using the priority command. So you can change it manually.
Okay. Ideally, any manual configure router ID is the most preferred. Okay. If it is not available, then the highest IP of the loop back interface is considered.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And tell me something about DNS.
DNS, okay. So DNS stands for domain name server or domain name system. It resolves domain names into IP addresses, and just like it uses UDP port 53.
Mhm.
So with the help of DNS, you just find a server name, just like if you don't know about the Google DNS server address, IP address, which is 8.8.8, you just simply type google.com, then it converts that name into IP with the help of zone servers, like just so if the server has that name or IP address, so it converts it into the IP name to domain name, and you have connection to the Google. So just it's like converts or resolves IP to domain name.
Okay. So is it from IP to domain name or from domain name to IP?
Both are, man.
Okay. And let's see. So do you know about A lookup, NS lookup?
Look up, man. I don't know, man.
Okay. What is the difference between the ping and trace route?
Okay, so the ping uses just ICMP echo and echo reply and request packets, or just the trace route. Uh, the trace route trace all the routes to reach the destination. Just like that. Uh, with the help of traceroute, it's just a troubleshooting command. When with the help of traceroute, you can check whenever the packet goes discarded or just dropped in the
Mhm.
network. To to reach the destination, you just need to trace a route. So with the help of traceroute, you can find out where the packets are dropping, and just so or with the help of ping, you can check the connectivity to a destination or just a host with another host in a network. So or also just in the ping command, it's just a ping is just a command. So with the help of ping, you can see whether the packets are sent to the destination, but not reversing back. So both are used in just troubleshooting, man.
Okay, so ping is basically used to check the reachability with the destination,
Yeah,
right?
man.
And trace route is just to see the hops in between when the traffic is passing to a source to a destination,
Yeah, man.
right? And what is TTL?
TTL is just like, man, time to leave. It is used in small networks just because after an every hop count, the TTL value decreased by one. So just it used in only small networks, not just in big network. It's just a hop counting it's just a cost or it's just a cost counting method, man.
So what happened when the TTL value reaches to zero?
Ma'am, the packet drops at that time, just when it reaches to the zero, no matter you reach to the correct destination or not. When it goes to zero, it drops the packet.
All right, great. So that would be all, but I just need to take a picture of yours. So if you can just open your
Okay,
camera.
no problem, no problem.
And how do you know Anshu sir or Anshu Soni?
I just ping him on LinkedIn, so just he gave me
Okay,
your. Okay, man.
okay. I thought you guys are connected, like you might be aware. We'll
Uh,
see. All right.
yeah.
And what is your expectation about the salary? How much would you expect?
I'm just a fresher, ma'am, so I don't get, ma'am, I don't know about what kind of salary you provide to a freshers.
Okay, all right. And do you have any question for me? Like, do you want to know anything about the job profile?
Yeah, ma'am. I want to know about the
Okay.
job profile, ma'am. What kind of work I have to do in this profile, ma'am.
Okay, so basically, though the company that you will be hired is called Capgemini, okay,
Okay,
then it has been recently taken over. So earlier it was Eltron. So Capgemini has come into a picture just 3 or 4 months back. But then you would be working for Cisco.
okay,
So the Cisco devices, okay. Uh, I am from the firewall team for Cisco ASA, and we would be troubleshooting any issues on Cisco ASA devices.
okay,
Okay, whether it's your NAT, your ACL, your traffic, any routing protocols, though we don't use RIP much, but then you would be handling EIGRP, OSPF, BGP on the ASA. So
okay,
anything from A to Z or anything on the ASA, you would be troubleshooting on the live devices. So it's not
okay.
that you would be working on a lab, but then it's on devices on the production. You would be helping the customer over the phone because most of the troubleshooting you cannot do over an email, though you would get some cases with the email preferences, but then mostly would be, you can say, 80 to 90% cases would be handled over the phone, which is like severity cases where the complete network is down. You might
Yeah,
have to collaborate with the other teams. For example, if there is
okay,
any issue with the router, switching, uh, VPN. So we have everything about the Cisco. We have all the teams.
okay.
Okay. So it's a complete tech support.
Yeah,
Okay.
ma'am.
Where you will be handling the complete networking and like the ASS specifically.
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, just ma'am, because ma'am, I don't know about that much uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the ma'am firewall just because I never learned about it. So can I get any training in this job
Yeah,
role just
once
because?
you are selected, you would be trained. There would be a complete process training on the
Okay,
ASA. Okay, and then you would be you would be on live taking cases and working on the devices. But then
okay,
you will have 2 to 3 weeks or maybe 4 weeks of training on
okay,
the complete ASA, how ASA works. And ASA is not the only thing. I'm not sure if you have heard about firepower, the firepower FTD, which is also a part of Cisco firewall. These are the
okay.
next generation firewalls.
Mm-hmm.
So the normal ASAs are the legacies firewall, like the 5500 and all. But now we have next generation firewalls which can compete Palo Alto checkpoints and all.
Oh, yeah, ma'am.
So those are the stuff. But then you would be trained on everything. First of all, you would be trained on ASA. Then you would be trained on firepower. So
Okay.
that's how it is.
Yeah, ma'am. So, what's my what is my location, ma'am? Just
It would
to
be Gurgaon.
it will be good car. Okay. So, what, ma'am, about the salary, ma'am?
Salary is something which I do not decide. I'm just here to take the technical round. But whatever is given to a fresher will be told by the manager if you're
Okay.
shortlisted. So the manager or the HR. Okay, so I really cannot say about uh, the salary and all.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry for just because my great grandmother comes around and she just
So any
asking
other
me something.
question?
Oh. Uh, not at all, ma'am. Just because, ma'am, in which time I've
Hello.
got to the hello. So, ma'am, in which time I've got to the manager round, ma'am.
Not sure. It depends on the availability. So I will go and forward uh, the feedback to the manager,
Okay.
and then the manager will look into it and will get back to you as per the availability since we have other interviews also lined up. But then it would be something in the morning, before 3 o'clock, I would say, 3 to 4, like
Uh,
early, after 10 to
okay.
3 or 4 o'clock, because we all work in the morning shift.
Okay.
So I don't think so. It would go beyond 3 or 4 o'clock.
Uh, Ma'am, I just want to say something just like I got an offer letter from another company. So, due to financial issues, I have to join that company immediately on just on 15th of November. So, if you are able to schedule my manager round as soon as so possible, just because I have to go to that Delhi to join that company. It's just not like that big MNC, so but I have some financial issues in my family, so just I have to join that company. If you
Okay, I'll
so
check about it. So from which company you have the offer letter?
and from Oodles company, Oodles Technologies.
Where is it? In
MM in Gurgaon 60 sector 61, ma'am, which is in MR Digital Green, ma'am, Tower B.
Okay, and how much are they offering?
Ma'am, they are offering me 2.5 per annum, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Okay, not a
So
problem. I will inform the manager and I will tell them to get back to you as soon as possible.
yeah,
Okay.
ma'am, just okay, ma'am. Just because I'm leaving tomorrow to uh, reach the Delhi at just because I am new from just because I am new in this environment, so just I have to find PGs and many more things to do in Delhi just because.
Hmm.
So as
Okay.
soon as if I get an off manager round schedule, just because I'm seeing.
Okay. All right. No problem. All right.
Okay.
So that's true. So if you have no questions, I think we should be done. All right.
Okay. So, ma'am, the another thing is like ma'am, and any agreement I have to sign if I got a job from your side.
Possibility, yes. Possibility, yes.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure, but then I have seen people, if you are joining as a N1, then you might have a 2 years of contract.
Okay.
If you are joining as a trainee, then I think the trainee would be for up to 1 year and then you will become N1. then you have a
Hmm.
2 years of contract, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, no problem with that, ma'am. Just because I can comfortable with that. No
Okay.
problem.
All right.
But please just make it as soon as.
All right. Sure. I will do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.